And yes, we are live with Messi Victor, all the way from Togo. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. And it is my intentional parenting journey. I am particularly excited to hear this journey. I could see the cohort 1L people shouting, rooting. Person is here. Unlike no cohort 1L is a noise making. Lord, a noise making cohort, but I love it. Their conversations are always very amazing. And every time you go there, you just see something that's going to make you get excited. Shout out to you all. If you can hear me, you can see me. Please let me see your comment right in the comment section telling me that you can see and that you can hear me. Thank you again for joining me this morning. And it has been an amazing journey of my intentional parenting journey. And today we have Mr. Victor. It's going to be awesome. If you have not shared this link with your family and your friends, you want to do that now. Yes, you want to do that now because it is going to be really, truly amazing. I'm sure that Madam Messi has a lot to tell us this morning and what it is that she's going to tell us and how how she has been on her journey and the things that have happened on her journey so far. Alrighty, so my name is Wendy Ologe and I'm the founder of the Intentional Parent Academy and I will be your host today on my intentional parenting journey. I am particularly excited. I cannot wait to hear this journey. Madam Mercy, talk to us. How did you get into the inner circle? What made you get into the inner circle? How long have you been in the inner circle and how did you find us? Thank you so much. Over to you, ma'am.
Okay, good morning, Coach. Good morning, everyone listening to us this morning. Thank you for the opportunity, Coach, to be able to speak here. I'm so honored. I'm so grateful. God bless you, man. To the question, I joined the inner circle December 2022. So I in 2022, in 2022, I had a lot of issues. Not that I was looking for a parenting coach or anywhere I can learn something, but I had issues in my family. I happened to be praying at a time. I made a certain prayer. I asked God to make me a legacy in my family. I didn't even know what that meant, but it just dropped in my heart to make that prayer. And I did. And after that prayer, it was as if God pointed me out, just told me, please, there's somewhere that I'm supposed to go and check in the house, a particular place in my house. So I went there and I checked. And what I saw, I'm not going to be able to say this out here because it's a public space, actually, Coach. I'm so sorry about that. So
Fine.
it really shocked me. It really shocked me. So I didn't know something like that could be something that will happen in my family. I was really shocked. It really touched me, and I nearly gave up in my spirit. So I kept on praying. I called my children, and we had a talk. And I was heartbroken anyway. So I kept on encouraging them because it was somehow difficult for me. And it happened that my sister-in-law, that's my husband's brother's wife, had joined the Intentional Parent Academy. Then I didn't know anything about that. So she sent me, I think that was a link to appraise her. I think that time you people did the emotions challenge. I don't really know what the name was. So she gave me that to appraise her. So after doing the appraisal for her, I started looking into it. I didn't understand what that was. I was like, who is putting this my sister in a hot seat like this? As in, so it was like a kind of a questionnaire. So when I gave her my feedback, I went back to the link again. I saw the Intentional Parent Academy as a heading on that questionnaire. And I also saw that it's on YouTube. So I went to YouTube, I clicked, I went through a lot of things on your YouTube channel. I was like, wow. So something like this is here. And actually, I found out that a lot of my values, my personal values, are also what you have been teaching. I was like shocked. I was wowed. I came to my husband. I told him, see, all these things that we are teaching, all these things we have been trying to showcase to our children, this is it. There's someone that is teaching it also. There's someone that is teaching it. So my husband was like, wow, that's nice. So we are watching. I was now meditating on all the what do you call it, on all your videos on YouTube, morning, afternoon, night. I was like, wow. I was really touched. I say, me, I have to join. No, I didn't even need somebody to come and beg me or plead with me, because I needed to do better. And according to my prayer, I just knew that God had answered my prayer. So he brought me to inner circle through my prayer. And also, I thank my sister-in-law. She's now like a sister to me. She's a friend, a confidant, Mrs. Nenna. I can see her chat right there. She's using the David Okpan. Yeah. So she's been my accountability partner since then. And we've been journeying along in this parenting thing and all that. It's not been easy. But I can say that I have seen a lot of changes. I have grown. When I had those challenges and I came into the TIP Academy links on YouTube, and I found out that most of these things that are happening, that it was my fault. Like you said, that parenting is about me. And before that, the Holy Spirit always told me, whatever I'm doing, that is going to be a seed planted in my family, and that is going to be shown through my children. So I knew that I had to take responsibility. It was not something that I was going to beat out of them. It was not something that I was going to shout out of them. I had to calm myself down and humble myself. When I joined in December 2022, coach, I will tell you the truth. I was not coming with humility, abada, like we normally say. I came with, me, I sabi book.
And so,
I know how to pass everything that you give me to pass, I can pass it. Do you get?
mm,
So I'm this student that is willing to learn and show full working. Do you understand? So I was coming there to challenge. I would like say to challenge you and say, hey, coach, go no say somebody is here like me. Do you understand? So when I now entered, I was I was humbled. Okay. So I was just humbled to the ground. I sat on the floor. In fact, I found out that I was just crippled. I was I was really crippled. I couldn't even move. I couldn't do all that you were saying. I was like, oh, mom. So what have I been learning in school all this while? And how did I even grow up and all these things? So it was a big challenge for me. It was a big challenge for me to follow up, because I see many people, oh, we are going to be in the yard. Someone even said the other time that he's glad that he's been initiated into the courts. So I would just say, welcome to the person, because what you are going to meet, you just have to be very strong like this. And one thing that has happened is that Inner Circle has been able to build me, build me to chest many things. When I see challenges, I'm no longer disturbed. I'm not like I'm finished. I'm like, okay, how can we do this? This is a gap. Thank God that this gap showed itself. How can we fill that gap? So that has been it. I don't really want to go further, coach, because there's a
mm,
lot that I can say. But I really thank God that he brought me into the inner circle through my sister, Nenna Ojun. I really
mm.
appreciate her for that. So in fact, she's been a valuable friend to me, and Inner Circle has brought us closer than before.
Hmm.
Before we would have just been like that as friends, people that are close, family. But because of Inner Circle, I can say that she's my number one person aside my
Wow.
husband. And
Wow.
that's it for now. Thank you, Coach.
Shout out to you, Madam Nena, the number one person. Come on now. See how you end yourself a spot in somebody's life just because you brought Inner Circle to them. Thank you so much again. You are listening to Mercy Victor. Mercy is streaming live all the way from Togo. And you know, it's so interesting how it's been, you know, it's been when we say talk to people, you never can tell what it is that you know it can happen to the person. Look at Mercy today. Saying, see, this woman is now my number one person. As in Oshe, Madam Nena, shout out to you. In fact, I've watched Madam Nena pull literally her whole family into the inner circle. She's just like this. This guy, everybody, let us get in. What are you doing outside? You know, she's standing at that gate. She's standing at that gate and she is manning that gate well. Thank you so much. And shout out to you, every Yada who is pushing through. When we get it, we get it. You know that a Yada appeared. That's how we move. We don't sit at the back. We are very loud. We are very out there. We shine our light to the later. We know it and we shine our light. And you are listening to Mercy Victor. It was when Madam Mercy said, when I got into the inner circle, and I came with, you know, I came with this kind of, you know, this kind. They will know that I'm here now, and all of that. Dear incoming Yada, come very humble. If you ever come with pride, your pride will be smashed on the floor, and it will be, as in, you will be on the floor so that you cannot pick yourself up. As in, it will be so difficult to come up. I mean, by the time you're scrambling like that, you're scrambling to come up, you will see as in being on the floor is very hard. It's very hard for you to actually stand up. So please come with humility and mother. Madam Nena said she has received flower with full chest. I give it to you, ma'am. You know, and you know, while she was speaking, and I was just wondering, there are a lot of us who, and I'm sure that by the time you come in with that, I know what I'm coming for. You will lose yourself in like 3 months. As in, you before you get yourself, time don't go. There are people like that. I know a particular Yada like that. I will not call her name. She came to me and said, Coach, in my mind, I knew what I was doing. 6 months, I was lost. That's when I'm just cramping myself. It's as if I did not go through inner circle this year. So I'm now waiting for next year. Association of No Book, please put the book somewhere. All of us no book. We're all coming from no book. But this is not a book knowing place. If you come with pride, the military abada will not be enough for you. Military abada is 1 yard per day. If your own tears in a day, you can't get any more. We give you humility abada. We will offer you. But make sure that you don't tear your humility abada in a day. Right? Because that humility abada in a day will actually tear and we will not offer you another one. You are listening to Mercy Victor. And Mercy Victor says she came into the inner circle by praying to God. While she prayed, God sent her an angel in the name of her sister-in-law, Madam David Oban. And I am so grateful for your life. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. And Mercy is streaming live all the way from Togo. Thank you again. So talk to me, Ma. You got into the inner circle. You had a lot of challenges. You know, stuff happened to you. And you want to share with us in what significant ways has the inner circle changed you? Yourself, your marriage, your parenting, your work, your relationship with family. You don't even need to tell me. For you to have your sister-in-law as your bestie, that's something, right? You know, some of us actually in that, you know, in that gang that have our sister-in-laws as our number one, you know, behind us and all of that. It's doable. These things are not, they're very doable. Over to you, man. Talk to us. How has that improved and impacted your life?
Okay, thank you, Coach. Inner Circle has done a lot for me, more than words can express, more than I can say. But I'm just going to try and bring out some points. You know, Ah, Inner Circle is God's answer to my prayer
Hmm.
in my life. Not even talking about my children only, talking about my personal life and my marriage. That is God answering my prayer, even for my generation to come. Inner
Hmm.
Circle has given me a push because I'm this kind of person that I'm not really out there. I don't want to show up too much, you know. And I'm not going to say that I don't know how to show out, but because of upbringing,
Hmm.
from what we have been learning in the inner circle, I've come to the understanding that it's just me carrying trauma about everywhere, and I didn't even know. So inner circle has helped me to unburden myself of those traumas and also
Hmm.
be able to shine my light, be able to give value to those that are around me. I've been able to understand people more, understand my children, my husband more, understand myself more. You know, I've been able to set structures and goals before. I don't even have what I will call goal that I put for myself. I, according to some others that have spoken before, we are just going like that. You day break, you stand up, and you just be going like that. The one where you see, where you go do, you do. Sorry for my pidgin English. So
Please, wow.
that, that has been it for me. But since starting up my journey in the inner circle, I've been able to build a strong foundation for myself, for my family. I was always on my own, and my husband too. His own is even worse than my own. If I may say, he's not this kind of person that likes to go out, have friends. It was like a blessing for us. So, but we just found out that true, that is not how to live life. You cannot be on your own and be calling
Hmm.
yourself blessed. Okay,
Hmm.
so I had to change that aspect of my life. Before, I used to be afraid of having too many friends because of I don't want somebody to hurt me. I don't want to be around, because I don't really know how to make friends. But in inner circle, we are taught how to make friends, keep friends, or maintain friends, maintain friendship. So then I didn't know it. So anything that will make somebody to say things that will hurt my feeling, I'm always running away from it. So that's why it's as if I exclude myself. Not that I don't like people. I like people, but I don't like to throw myself out there. And at the time, maybe when we are doing devotional in the house, maybe in the evening, my husband will be like, that, look at your mommy. He will be telling my children, there are no friends coming here to visit her. He's talking to my girls actually. So they should learn how to keep themselves together for themselves. They don't have to be having plenty friends around, not those things that people usually do. I'm from the place where I'm from Abreba. I don't know if you have heard of that place, Coach.
Hmm.
We
Yes,
are
I
very popular.
oh.
Yes, we are we are very noisy. We are very
Yes.
noisy. We are crowd people. You know, we just like to do doings so
And
that
people
people
have a
will
lot
know that we are here.
in that
Yeah.
place.
So that's part of why I didn't want to be. I'm not a crowd people. I didn't want to. I just wanted to be unique. So I thought that what I was doing, that I'm okay. That I'm being exceptional. The inner circle has taught me that that is not how to be exceptional. You can be out there and you also have boundaries that you have set for yourself in order to maintain relationships, strategic ones. So inner circle has helped me to do that. Inner circle has also helped me to have peace of mind. Before, somebody will tell me something, maybe I'm not happy about what the person said. I'll just be chesting it. My heart will be swelling. I will not be able to open up and say or express my feeling. So maybe at a time, maybe I will just burst out, maybe just for the smallest things. So inner circle has been able to help me guard my emotions better and have peace of mind. So I've realized that this is how I can love my children, you know, understand their love languages, and know that this is not how I will go about my first child. I have 5 children now. This is not how I can go with the first child. This is not how I can go with the second or the third. These are the things that I can do for each one of them, you know, differently. I've been able to learn how to love them differently and also love them equally as well. So, coming to apology language, I've been able to know that everyone is not the same when it comes to apology. You know, I'm not the kind of person that likes being told sorry. In fact, when somebody tells me sorry, it's as if you're looking for my problem. As in, I don't understand. So I will always tell people, no, I don't want that sorry. What I need is change that attitude. Like I don't like that thing, you know. But inner circle has taught me that everybody is not the same. There are ways that I can follow them. There are ways that when I see this person has done, because he's this kind of a person, that means he or she is actually realizing that what he has done is not okay. So I now take it that way. And I've also been able to learn not to take misbehavior personally. When my children will misbehave, or maybe when my husband will do something, I will not be able to take it personally again. If it's before, ah, maybe I will raise voice, I will shout, I will become volatile. You know, yeah, people. If at all there is a way that I can express my anger at that time, I will be able to do it. You get, not that I'm going to fight, because I don't know how to fight, but I can use my mouth and finish matter there. So inner circle has been able to teach me how to intentionally make out time to parent my children, even the difficult ones. Inner circle has given me encouragement. Sometimes I'll be passing through something, and maybe a voice note that you will just send, it will just be the solution for that day, or the tool of the day. Or maybe within the week, something will just be dropped in the group, whereby I'm now like, oh, my problem has been attended to. Most of the times I'll be like, I want to send coach a message, but before I can even send the message, maybe Tuesday live, we deal with that matter, or the Thursday webinar, we deal with that matter, or even the voice notes or connection too. So inner circle has really been a lot for me. So many things. I can't say everything, coach. Can't say everything, but I know that I have left where I was before.
Mm.
When we are asked to ask our children how they feel about us, the parents, how we are parenting them. You know, I just carry myself with humility, but I will just sit there and ask, this is me asking. I'm not going to be annoyed. Anyhow or anything you feel like saying to me, maybe this is how you are doing it, that is not okay. Just tell me. I'm okay with it. We are all learning. So that's giving me that humble spirit, to listen to my children, and also not to be fighting to be the one that is correct, because I always like to be correct. So I found out that I'm not supposed to be correct every time. I don't know everything. So maybe when they will give me their critics, I listen and I pick. And since I joined the inner circle, they've been like, "Mommy, you have really, really, really changed."
Hmm.
The last time we did it, I think that was on Monday. My second daughter told me that she likes everything that I said. There is no way you can like everything I'm doing. Oh. She said that yes, that because of inner circle, that she has seen a lot of changes, and I'm a better person to them as their mother, even the best mom. Sometimes I'll just be on my own and they will send a message to me on my WhatsApp through the phone. Mommy, you are the best. Mommy, I love you. And all those things. It was not like that before. It was not like
Hmm.
that before. So now,
Hmm.
Inner Circle has brought a lot of changes to me. Even when I want to go out, maybe I want to go somewhere without them. Everybody is like, mommy, you are going out. It was not like that before. Before, I'll just tell
Hmm.
them, okay, bye bye, do everything you're supposed to do, and I'll just be going my way. But now, all of them, they'll be like hugging, they'll be like pecking, kissing on the cheek, and all that. Oh, mommy, okay, you see, this person has already hugged me and given me a peck. And when I'm almost at the gate, he's coming again, and the other person say, "Oh, you cannot pass me with this peg." It's like they are not. It's not like a competition. So inner circle has brought so
Hmm.
much love, joy, peace, understanding in a nutshell. Thank you.
Wow, 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 wow. I'm reading the comments and I'm laughing. Yeah, that can be the most hilarious people on earth. Thank you so much, Madam Mercy, for sharing. And I love that part, where she was saying that, oh, she's thinking about something, she wants to come and ask. And the next thing, there's a webinar addressing it, there's a Tuesday live, and there's a voice note addressing it. And it just solves the problem on the go. Recently, an incoming here that sent a chat to me and said to me, "Oh, I have this problem, chronicles of problems." And said, "Can you give me what to do now?" I said, "No, I don't work like that. I cannot give you what to do now. You will find what to do as you are going." And I said to her, "When you get in there, whatever they tell you to do it." And I'm sure somewhere in her head, she's thinking, "Ha, how am I going to?" I said, "Just follow the instructions and you will arrive at your destination." I said, inner circle is like a path that is being charted for you. If you can actually follow, it's a path to a destination that is known. So it's not a path to an unknown destination. It's a path to a destination that is already known. So there is a path. And somebody is saying, "I have a roadmap to that place that we're going. You want to get there, right? I have a roadmap. Can you follow, the steps as I actually as I'm, directing and all of that." So I'm just a director. God leads the path. God just shows, this is where it is that you're going to, say. And that's why it looks like in the inner circle, I saw Messi saying you can be holding a grudge, and the next morning, coach will call you out in a webinar. Meanwhile, you didn't tell her anything, you didn't say anything to her, or you have done something, and you just hear in one webinar, one voice note is your name they are calling in that early morning, and you're like, who went to tell this woman about me? And that's what the inner circle is. And I keep saying it. It is not the norm. It is not your regular, "let's just come and learn parenting." It meets you at the point of your need. And that's because it is spirit filled. I will say it again and again, and I've said it on this platform. If you do not know and you do think that this is not true, go and ask God. I'm very, very glad and bold to tell you, see, this same God we all, except it's not the same one. Kneel down and say, "Who is this your child? Who is this your daughter?" He will tell you exactly who I am. Because I do know that on this mountain I am called the deliverer in the family mountain. And I know it like I know my name. Trust me, if you join Scratch Note when you are eventually in the inner circle, one thing is very simple. You will move from where you are, you will see tangibly where you are to where it is that you're going to. You don't get there. You don't get there. You don't get to the place where you now arrive. You don't arrive, right? But you will see that, like Madam Mercy said. She said, "I now wake up with a sense of purpose." And it's no longer Anywhere where believe first. You know how we do it. Just wake up, everything will be okay. The way you wake up, you just continue, go to work, you come back, you shout at your children, you get angry, you just live your life just like that. It's no longer that way. You don't. There is no anyhowness. And I'm sure that if you are not coming here, that you're wondering, these people have a lot of lingua. Please be learning it. There is no anyhowness in the inner circle. It was the first day that I heard my brother in the Lord, Bishop David Oyedepo, say everywherely. I was like, which one is everywhere? And he said, who created English language? I am also adding my own words. I was like, wow, that's it. And if you listen to Mercy, she said something very striking. She said, you cannot be on your own and be calling yourself a blessing. Yeah. The kind of words that Yadas have. And then you listen to them. You don't just listen, it wasn't a word she repeated. It was just something she said in between the sentence. And I saw some people, I saw some people catch that rema in the comment section. I just love it. You cannot be on your own and be calling yourself a blessing, because you don't do life alone. You do life in communities. You do life with people. Again, you cannot be on your own and calling yourself a blessing. You are a blessing when you are out there. It's not I know how to do it. I'm a man of my own. I just like all of that. Blah blah blah. It's just how are you a blessing? You're a blessing when you can come in contact with human beings. You are a blessing when you can impact people. You are not a blessing when you are at the back. You don't bless from the back. You bless right in front. You shine your light to the point where you become a blessing. You bless when you speak. You bless when you're there. Today, Madam Mercy is sharing her testimony, and it is, we're all giving that's the none of one her flowers. And it's so exciting. That was her sister, that's her sister-in-law. Everybody is raving now. Hey, but she has come here and said, this woman is a blessing to me. She couldn't have been a blessing to her at the back. She couldn't have been a blessing to her keeping quiet. She couldn't have been a blessing to her watching her go through that ordeal and just say, whatever, Shebi, you are the one, you have come to the family. We see what other people have seen. We are here. Meanwhile, she knows something that can help her. No, that's not like that. We don't keep quiet. It was yesterday it was Ruth Ologe who shared on her intentional parenting journey. She's a single lady, and she said, we are not going to back down until we get. We are not backing down. There's no backing down on this agenda. We aren't backing down. Where we are, I shall be life. Where we are, we will give life. We will be a blessing. I see you, Dia. Dia said, even before I registered for academy, coach appeared in my dream. The spirit of just men made perfect. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. You are listening to Mercy Victor, and I am very excited. I'm particularly excited on Thursdays. Thursdays are one of my best days. Guess why? Guess why? Guess why Thursdays are one of my best days? If you get it right, inner circle parents, keep quiet. If you get it right, I have a thing for you. Why do you think Thursdays are my best days? Why do you think Thursdays are my best days? Thank you so much again. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. I'm so sad. Inner circle paralyzed me. It scanned me. It strayed me. Showed me all the life, threatening diseases within my body with extra luggage. Eventually, inner circle gave me prescriptions and medication. I think that this is the real deal, right? This is the real deal. All right. Well, it's working. I told the others to keep quiet. They are in the comment section where we rose coming and just firing every now and then. In that circle, every now. Workers meeting. Look at all of them. Collection is a collection day. Today you will collect. As I'm unapologetic about today. Come ready. If you come with any form of humility that is not complete, those short dresses you wear short skirt or you wear open back. You will be naked at the end of the day. Come with Amada, the one that is flowing on the floor. Thank you again for joining me. I am particularly excited listening to Mercy Victor, streaming all the way from Togo. And I didn't know that Mercy was from Abriba. We call it the small London. I've been to Abriba like twice. And Omo, I give it to you guys. Shout out to you guys. It is such a place, such a place. You know, the people with the doings, with the money. Trust me when I say so. All righty. Thank you so much. And you are here. Talk to me, ma'am. What will be your top three webinars? Today we're having another such of those webinars. What will be your top three webinars in the yard? Why will it be your top three webinars? What did those webinars do for you? You've been in the inner circle, this is the second year. I'm sure that the webinars will be like overwhelming in your head. Like, which one do I choose? But you're going to try and choose one. Over to you, man.
Thank you, Coach. Mm, I don't even know which one to pick, but all the webinars had a lot of things that they did for me. You know, I cannot say that there is any webinar that I listened to that I didn't pick something from, that didn't help my life in one aspect or the other. You know, sometimes the problem that we have is that we don't know we have a problem. And until you realize that you have a problem, then the solution is near. That's what I always believe. So the first thing that I know I've gotten from TIP is that the webinars, hot webinars that coach uses to unleash on us, ah, there's no way you will not have sense. I'm telling you, actually, there's no way you will not have sense. You know, when I started 2022 December, after the induction and also the family value and all that, I did all those things. I was not, I was like, okay, I already know all these things. Uh, it's just I didn't put them in writing. So I now put them down to pen, and then we framed it, and it's also in our house now. We use it. What I'm trying to bring out is that it wasn't until when we did that webinar, social roadmap, that time. That was when I knew that I didn't know anything. And so then I was like naked. I was shouting. That was when, I don't know if coach will remember the chat I sent her then. I said, it's today that I come out cap for you. uh So it's not as if I did not really respect or appreciate all that she has been teaching. But it was that day that everything tear come out from my body. You understand? And I found out that my house that I was there doing this kind of parenting, it was just like small dots in a circle. Small dot in a circle. I have not even gone
Hmm.
anywhere. Even though people will see me and they will be like, oh, you are doing so much, your children, they are sectional, your children, they are unique. It's just now that I'm in the inner circle, I found out that these people, I really pity them, because if I found myself on the floor when I enter inner circle some months later, I don't know what they will be doing when they enter. Maybe the induction ceremony, they will just cry themselves down. So, the top webinar for me was creating a social roadmap for your Gen Z, because that one
Hmm.
really touched me. Because the way we grew up, the way I was parented, we are inside the house. We didn't really go out. The only going out that I did was entering the university, and also when I had to help in my parents' business at the office. Then we had a computer uh, center. Then, so we went there. We manned the office and all that. That was the only going out that we did then, and that was all I knew. You know, I wanted my children to be strong, because I found out that because I was in that space when I was growing up, I had more knowledge, social skills than
Hmm.
most of my siblings. They were not in that space. So I wanted to build that in my children. So I now learned that I have to start creating the social roadmap for my children by building good relationships first. those roof tearing friends. I didn't have it then. And I will be seeing other people, maybe they will post, people that I know, they will post, oh, me and my friend, we went out, and you just see them every now and then, they are cruising. I'm like, how did these people even do all this kind of thing? I don't know. I didn't know how to build such relationship. But from that webinar, I got deliverance, and I
Mm.
started building myself first, because parenting is first about you, before your children, before anybody else. And coach will always say, focus on yourself. So the first year, it was tough for me. It was tough. There's something that coaching that said that inner circle will fight you to feed you, to find you. It
Yep.
was what happened to me. It
Mm.
happened to me, left and right. So he fought me. The way he fought me was that all those things that I believed in, that I was doing, the way I was living my life, was a struggle. I'm a kind of a routine person. I'm used to what I'm doing. To change it is always difficult for me. So I now had to start having better perspective to life. You know, I found out that I don't have to be parenting my children just for them to like me every time. You know, I didn't want to be in that space where I'll be like ice cream, as coach will normally say. So I use friendship as a tool in parenting them. So I also taught them to make friends for themselves, you know, and also make friends for myself. One of the, I think that was last year. I was asking my daughter, why who are your friends in school, and she was like, mommy, I don't have friends. I was like, why? Is there nobody in your school that you can talk to? I enrolled them in the school system here. I'm not, no, they are not in a English speaking school. They're in French speaking school. So I thank God I did that when I did, because my eldest child now is 14 years, so she was 12 when I joined, and it was a lot of problem for me, a teenager handling their tantrum and all that, and all the things that come with teenagers. It was just much. So this creating a social roadmap for your Gen Z helped me to shape myself so that my children can follow. And when I asked that my child, why is it that you don't have friends in school? At least I know that others have friends, your siblings, they have friends in school. She told me that she cannot be friends with them. Oh. I say, why? Say that they are not Christians, that they are Muslims, and that even those that are going to church, that they are Catholics. I was like, I didn't understand where that was coming from. You were teaching us, and you said um that we don't have to segregate ourselves when we are out there. And that was one thing that my dad did. He had friends that were outsiders. We grew up in Nigeria. So he did a lot of business with other people that are not from our place, that are not Igbo, that are not even Christians. Okay, so I didn't understand how my child would now be having that kind of sense. But I now find out that using what we are saying, maybe sometimes when we are discussing,
Mm.
you will not know that they are listening in, and she's a systematic child. She just picks things like this, and it's inside her. She will internalize it. You will not even know. So I now found out that this is a disadvantage. So I now had to, it wasn't by force. I had to start building her up, telling her that is not how it is, gently. And today, where we are is not where we were before. They bring their
Awesome.
friends to the house, and I will just say most of them are Muslims, and I'm not flustered. Like, what if they change their religion, or they start having something in their mind? against what I believe in. It's not like that. When they talk, they know how they relate to each other. And I'm so happy about that. So that's one of the things that this social roadmap did for me. And also, I've been this kind of person that when I'm going to market, I take them with me to the market. I show them. But when I enter inner circle, I now found out that I don't have to be going with them all the time. So I now decided to test launch them. I did the
Right.
test that where I'm living is far from the market. When they are taking when I want to take a public transport, it will take it like 20 to 30 minutes to reach the market. So I taught them what to do, how to choose a transport vehicle, what things to look out for in the vehicle, how you can navigate while you're on the road on your own. Because I found out that I cannot be there with them every time. I have my own needs and things I need to attend to. So it really relieved me of many burden. It relieved
Mm.
me a lot. So they they can go to the market and buy everything that we need, anything that we need to buy. My 14-year-old, that one is a guru now. My 11 years old as well. They can go anywhere they want to go. They don't have any problem.
Mm.
And my 9 years old, the same thing. You know, they are doing a lot of things now only because of that webinar. So to the second top webinar, I'm trying to pick. Oh, coach, this thing is really difficult for me. Who am I parenting? Who am I parenting?
Mm.
Because I'm this kind of person that I don't really understand my first daughter. Then my first child, I didn't really understand that. Then if I'm shouting for any of my children in a day, if I'm going to scream at anybody or scold somebody 10 times a day, at least she's receiving 8 times. The rest cannot take 2. So it was difficult because I didn't know who she is. I didn't understand her. I was every
Mm.
time I'd be like, what is wrong with this girl? What is wrong with this one? And I discovered that from that who am I parenting, that she is a courageous child and also a creative child. You know, I started to appreciate her from that angle because there is a lot of strength from there. I started to encourage her in those aspects that she's doing so well. And I picked out the weaknesses, having outbursts in anger. Her temper can just fly like that. And I'll be like, ah. And most of the times, she's easily bored. You know, tell her, mommy, I'm bored. Oh, you know, and she doesn't like routines so much.
Mm.
And these routines, so she's the one that will help to put it together. She's the one that will write everything. She just want to be manning everything like that. So I know that I now got to know that she's her being her for her to be over bossy is not something bad. Is something that is inside her and that I can shape her to become better, to use it well to her advantage. So I got to grooming her to become better. And where we were before, it's no longer where we are now. A lot of times we finish talking to be as if what he has said, she will say, yes, I heard you. You know, I don't have any problem with why will I go and do something like that? What you say we don't do like this. Why will I do that? You'll be very confident that you've spoken with her. But the next minute she's doing something else. And you'll be like shocked. I say, what is all this? But because of this webinar, I've been able to know how to strategically follow her with proper structure, proper systems that I have to lay out for her.
Mm.
It's not by beating, it's not by shouting, it's not by flogging. And also, my second child, I have the four kinds of children that you can just find, I have all of them. So when I got pregnant for this my last baby, number 5, I was like, hey God, I've not finished the one that I'm doing. Oh. I don't understand where I'm going to now, to number 5. It's not what I planned, and all those things. But I found out that with inner circle, I have the strength to do it. It's for a purpose. That is why God allowed this number 5 child to come. So I don't have to be on the floor crying like that, even though it was difficult for me. I had to pull through. So I have seen ways that I can parent my children to become better. My second child, very systematic, has this perfectionistic behavior. Before inner circle, she's like, even her lesson teacher, then we had lesson teacher, because I cannot really help them because of the French that they attended. So I got a French teacher for them. So then he used to help them um, to do their work and also do lessons with them. So she's like, this man does not know this thing. Oh. The way she will just pinpoint that the man does not know what he is teaching. I say, is that how you behave in your class? When you're teaching, say, even those teachers in the school, sometimes they make mistake. You know, when you have that kind of child, you have to be very careful the way you talk or the way you behave, because something happened earlier on when my mom came to visit me. So I was not really attentive to what she was telling me. I was pressing my phone then. So I didn't know that this guy had picked up that behavior. So the, that particular day I was talking to her and she was busy doing something. I said, why are you not giving me attention? He said, you self, did you give your mommy attention when she was talking to you? I was like, hey, this girl. So I now know that her being secretive, being perfectionistic is not really something I should be pouncing on her. I have to make her more relaxed with me, to trust me. And also, I have to be a better model for her. I have to teach her how to value people. And also, I come to her with logic, not just with wisdom or just knowledge. You know, so I had to teach her a lot. Even my third child, that's my son. Before I didn't even I was not really focused on him. Maybe because he was number third and the first and second were some a bit older than him. So I was not really focused on him. But because of all these webinars, especially these who are my parents, I got to know that this boy needs a lot of structuring. You know, if I keep quiet or I overlook him, I will be raising a son that will be bailing out tomorrow, of which I don't
Yes.
like. I will not want. So he's a flag like myself. So he doesn't talk too much. Doesn't like coming out, but he plays a lot too. When you see him with his friends, yeah. But I didn't even know that he was avoiding us. He was not that too close. I didn't know. I didn't know that he was having anger issues as well inside him. So when I got to know things that I'm supposed to do, speaking to him, talking to him on a daily basis, he was now more open to me. I was able to instruct him better. You know, I was able to um, guide him better, even with the help of my husband. So he has come up a lot higher because we don't want to be bailing out anybody, especially my son. And sometimes he will just be like, I cannot face this thing. Mommy, go and do the talking for me, and all those things. So because I know where I'm going, I cannot do that for him. So I have to arm him with the right skills so
Yeah.
that he can be confident and outspoken. So the third webinar, uh, why you should never bail out your sons. I have
Mm.
other ones too. So, but I'm going to cut it short there. My number four child, that's my second son, very, very courageous. In fact, I thank God that when I gave birth to him, 2020, he was not old enough. Um, I call him my TIP baby. Okay, so because when I joined, when I started watching the things from your YouTube channel, and I found out that it's not by beating the child. If I start doing that, in fact, the boy will start from an early age to be fighting back. Okay, he's just like that. So I found out that I can use negotiation instead of
Mm.
beating him and forcing him. I can negotiate with him, and
Mm.
he's a good negotiator. This one, and when it comes to our business premises, they know him. He say, this is my abreba boy. So he doesn't like school safe. He will tell me, Mommy, I don't want to go to school. How old is he
Correct.
now?
Correct.
He's just 4 years.
Oh,
Small
wow.
child like that, he feel like, I don't want to go to school. I want to go to the market and do
Mm.
business with you.
Mm.
So I'm no more like pressurized and say, Michelle, this one want to become a dummy. So I now have to negotiate with him. Sometimes I'll just call him, and you have to learn how to write all these things. And you cannot be learning everything from my house here. You need to have friends as well, your age. When you go to school, you will see them, you will make friends there. And if there is any difficulty that you have, the way you talk to me, just talk to your teacher. She will help you. You
Mm.
understand? So when he was kind of not so willing to start school again that particular year because they had a long vacation. So and I told him, okay, when I pick you up from school, we can go to the market and stay for the rest of the day, and then we now go home together. So I was doing that for him, and he was happy. So instead of forcing him, most things that we are so if it were before, I will beat him, I will flog him, or I will shout, or my husband will beat him or flog him. Because of knowledge now, we are no longer there. We don't even beat him. And actually, I found out that he speaks a lot. He's quite eloquent. He started
Mm.
talking at 1 year. Eh?
Oh, wow.
A year and months, he will speak fluently, you know. And TIP helped me to shape him to become better.
Mm.
There was a day that I was asking my children a question, what can you do in a particular situation like this? All of them, they were still thinking. He was the one that raised his hand and said, Mommy, we can do it like this, we can do it like this. And we were just shocked, 4 years, giving such um,
Wow.
uh, idea. And I told them, this boy is just 4 years. How old are you people? Just jokingly. And my daughter said, now you are training me with CIP things now. So you did not start early with us. So we are still coming up. I said,
Yeah.
yes, I know. And I
Yeah.
also apologize for all that. There are a lot of webinars like wife in training manual, resolving existing sibling rivalry, understanding the season of life, all these things and many more have helped to impact my life positively. Let me just stop there because of time. Thank you.
Amazing, amazing. We have, how Madam Murphy talks gently, but there's so much coming out from this talk. If you're listening, if you're a good listener like us, so you see me bent down. I'm actually trying to write. That's how I learn. For those of you who just feel that, maybe you were in Madam Murphy's club before, where you used to think that you know it, you will remember it, your brain is enough. No, my own brain doesn't work like that. I need to write. So when people are talking, I am writing. I'm not you people, I'm not as smart as you people. People are very smart. I'm not that smart. I'm still learning, I'm still coming up. So as she's talking, I have a full note on my intentional parenting journey. This is me, the coach. I have a full note on it. I can tell you whatever, even the ones that I didn't anchor. I can tell you what every single person, their words, the things that they said, and I can tell you what I did with it. Me. So I'm not just writing it on. I'm not writing it so that they will say, oh, nice, she has just written it and all of that. No, that's not what I do. Today is creating implementation strategy. Becoming to that class first. Just becoming. When you come, we meet here. Let me just leave that one. But when she was talking about understanding who I was parenting, did you see the depth? She was able to actually explain. I was writing and I said, how much can you really know a child? I think she was able to explain in depth, the things that she actually is doing. She has a 4-year-old, and she's saying, because of knowing who I'm parenting, I'm no longer looking at him and saying, I want to go to the market and I'm stopping him. Now, let's go to the market, man. That's what it is. Man, please let that boy tell market. That's how it works, right? We're not under any kind of pressure. We don't want to show anything. It is the market, it's the street. That's where the things happen, not just in the school. Yeah, we go to school, get the basic education, but then let that guy be inside the market. That's how it works. That's how we roll. We're not trying to prove anything to anybody. We're charting the course for every single child. That's what we're doing. We're looking at the blueprint of a child. In the Bible, the father of Samson, Manoah, asked the angel, what would be the rule of work of this child? That means every single person has a rule of work. What is that thing that this child is going to actually breed? The rule of work. And it's because you heard her. She was saying, this is the child that I started early with. She's 4. He's 4. So, of course, he's the I call them the TIP babies, right? They are the real TIP babies, the ones that are groomed in the land. I was talking with Dr. Molola sometime, and I saw her son. I think he was 2 or something, trying to pack something that board. I was like, what's happening there? He said, coach, you don't understand. I said, this boy is a real TIP child. And you know that you will see so much that these children have been able to are able to actually do. Clara is here. Clara's daughter started to cook at 4. My children didn't start to cook at 4. News flash. I just told you that, see, my children started cooking at 6. You can do it. Give them this thing to cut at 2. Give them knife skills to do at 4. Give them, and before we know it, boom, 4-year-olds were frying plantain. Hey, 4-year-olds were cooking. And before you tell me, hey, is it not child abuse? Hey, abroad, though, it is not allowed. It is not.
There's something I want to add, though. I even
Ah,
forgot. Now that you say this, I just remembered. This boy right now, being a courageous child, I have to give them responsibilities a lot. He cleans the house, as in he can follow to do clean up in the house properly, not like a baby. Then he will wash plates properly.
great.
He's also washing his clothes as I speak now. All the clothes that he wears for the week, even his school uniform, he will wash everything. His church wear, everything, and his shoes he will wash them, clean everything, and pack. And he's even the one that is manning our routine for us. He's like,
Great.
you have not done your own. Go and do your own. You are supposed to do this. He's talking to his older siblings, and he's telling them, see what you have not done it to, go and do it. And as I said, we have structures that we placed on Saturday morning. There is no way you wake up. If it's before, when you wake up, you can put on the television and watch, or anytime you want to go and bath, or anytime you want to go and eat. But it's no longer like that now. Okay, right now it's no longer like that. He's the one that when he wakes up in the morning, he will be seeing that everything is going in order. He will talk to his older brother, his immediate elder brother. He will just tell him, you are not supposed to put on the television. You need to go and bath, brush your teeth, see everything that we wrote out there that you're supposed to do. Go and prepare food so that two of us will eat.
Correct.
And if like this command in the house, we still and all that.
Plenty of
So yeah, and it has given my first son the energy to keep rolling. It's like, this boy cannot pass me, you get. So
mm,
instead of him hanging around, lazing around, he's more pushing. As it stands now, he's now the one that commands the waking up time. The alarm will ring, and he's the one that is waking everybody up so that they can go to school on time. He's in exam class, he's in primary six. So he's going for exams, and is a government exam, is a public exam. So he knows that he wants to do well. I'm not the one that is reading his book for him or anything. Do you get? So I called him the other day. He brought his result to show me. I say your result is not bad. He said, but he came fourth. That is a weekly test that they did. He said he came fourth. Uh, this person that came fourth is having 8 as lowest score, 8 out of 10, and ninth. I say your point that is not low. I'm not, but the thing is that others have upped their game. What can you do for yourself to up your game as well? He's a kinesthetic learner, and he told me that sometimes he will do maths in a different way, that his teacher didn't teach him how to do it that way. He do it in a particular way and arrive at the same result. And I'm like, that's good. I encourage him. Instead of sticking him in a box, I encourage him to keep doing that way. The system here in the school, they are like, it has to be a particular way. So I'm not going to let that to shut him down. I give him the room to explore. You can do things differently so far as he's giving you the right results. Okay, so that's just what I wanted to add.
so sorry about that. I was muted. Amazing, amazing. I knew that with that 4-year-old, it's going to be a whole lot. If you have a child while in the inner circle, you will watch that child and you then look at the other children and you wish, child, I will born these children from now on. And this is not to say parents of teenagers that you have to go and have a baby to be the inner circle. Please don't have any baby because come, let's parent the ones you have. Don't start having babies. When people say they're having children, my heart skips, especially when you had older children. And my heart is skipping on your behalf. Don't worry, parent the one you have, not the one you wish to have, not the one you hope to have, not the one you are praying to have. Parent the
Yes.
child you have, and it's fine. Thank you again, Madam Messi, for teaching us and for sharing with us. I was, looking at the comment section where I was calling Clara out. And Clara said, oh, my 3-year-old now cooks. And let me also tell you, I said one day I sat down, my daughter loved cooking, has always loved cooking. And we always watch Chop Junior. Chop Junior, these children will be 4. And I started to ask myself, at 4 years, these children were churning out delicacies that me, I cannot cook. When did they start? And I realized that you can actually start to cook from, it's a skill, it's a life skill. I saw where Cordelia, shout out to you, Mr. Sony, my brother. I saw where Cordelia said when she started to teach a 9-year-old how to cook, the father was like, no, let's. But now he's not the one bragging everywhere. Oh, my daughter can cook, can make everything. It's men that take the trophy outside. They're the ones that will say, if you see my children. I remember Ayada telling me how she was constantly trying to, do things. Her husband would say, no, don't do it. And all of that, they are in real money, right? And then we don't need all this. The children have everything. So he said the brother came back one day, the husband came back one day, said, all my friends' children are on drugs, useless. Hey, my wife, where is that place that you said you used to go? I used to learn this parenting thing. Hey, God bless you. I had a good laugh. He said, where is that coach? Please, I need to actually do something for her. Hey, I was hearing stories about my friends' children. I was like, but my children are very responsible. They can go out on their own. I say, oh, shit, sir, take your flowers. It's okay, sir. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We are listening to Madam Mercy Victor, and she's streaming live all the way from Togo. And of course, she's sharing on her intentional parenting journey. Fun fact, Madam Mercy is from Abriba. Abriba is called Small London in Nigeria. And if you know anything about Abriba, you will know that they are in money. Business people par excellence, love their hometown. They don't joke with it. When it's Christmas, everywhere is on fire. I've been there one Christmas. I was like, what? Hey, what's happening here? I have a few friends from Africa. Awesome, awesome place. It's a place to visit on your bucket list before you die. Trust me when I say so. Thank you so much for joining me this morning, and thank you for being here. And when Madam Mercy was talking about, the webinars, talking about how it is that it has impacted her, talking about the things that she has been able to do, I love implementation. I hate knowledge that is stored. When you store knowledge, it actually will kill you. That's the truth. You become a seated library where every knowledge is there. Nothing. You're not giving out anything. You're not giving out anything. This is so, so important. And if you're here, you are asking us, how do I achieve all of this? This woman is saying she doesn't need to beat her children. A 4-year-old wakes up and doesn't need to watch TV and doesn't need to struggle with anything. How is that happening now? How can this woman say this kind of thing? Like, is it possible? Yes, in the inner circle, you learn how you are able to do this. The inner circle program is a 1-year program for parents to be intending parents, people who handle children, have love for children, whoever you are, even retired parents. When you're a grandparent, you are, I have like, I have like 5 grandparents who have introduced themselves newly, who are coming into the inner circle, let's tighten something. And we actually already have, more grandparents. I'm having now yarders register their own parents to be in the yard. And I'm like, oh, this is a thing. And it's been so awesome. A yarder said to me, my mom had been in the yard. Right now, I don't think about parenting support in my family. Everybody's in the yard. My parents are there, my siblings are there, everybody's in the yard. So when I'm talking, we are all talking on the same frequency. And she said our family cohesion has become so, so much better. We're now building a family with a sense of purpose. Everybody's hearing the same thing. And the other day that they were talking in a meeting, and it was a father who said, but this is not how coach actually talked about it. I was like, oh shit, daddy, that's just like that. And that's how it is. That's how it changes, the dynamics of your family relationship. You heard Mercy Victor talk about her relationship with her sister-in-law. She said before now she's just my sister-in-law, she's family. But when she brought me into the inner circle, I started to learn. I said, today, she's my number one person. If your sister-in-law is your bestie, gather here for a selfie. All of us, let's take a selfie together. Yes, I love it. Thank you so much. No, we don't do all those. Hey, friends are wicked. My in-laws are wicked. Oh, they are in inner circle. You will learn that those things, they are just trauma. We are living the trauma of a people that have lived their lives. Trust me, that's what you're living. You are not living your own life. You are living the life of another person. And no, that's not what we're about to do. We're not living the life of our parents. We're not living the life of, when we talk about creating a social roadmap for your Gen Z, I was talking from experience. I had a mom who didn't have no social roadmap. And it was a problem for her. It was a disadvantage. It wasn't an advantage. So when you get into the inner circle, one of the things that you learn is that was one of your first webinars, creating a social roadmap for your Gen Z at level 1. It hits you like a tsunami. Pa, pa, pa. All those, I want my children are my only friends. People are wicked. They are, come with your humility, Abada. We shall clothe you very well in January. Thank you again for joining me this morning. So talk to me, Ma. What will be your top 3 books? Just mention them. Let's move.
Okay. The top 3 book, number 1, Why You Act the Way You Do. I found out that from this book, I learned about myself. I found myself and also my children, everyone that is around me. So it has helped me to relate better and to become better. Before now, I will have opportunities, but I won't even see it to even talk of taking the opportunity. Okay, so it's kind of painful when I remember the opportunities that I missed in the
Mm,
past because of I had fear or anxiety. I was not so sure of myself. But from that book, I found out who I am, who my husband is, my children, even my daughter, some things that we are giving as connection to, she used to do when she was much younger. But because I didn't have knowledge, I didn't encourage those things to continue.
mm,
So when I got to know, I now started reawakening that part of her. Before she will just do cards, not because we are celebrating anything, just to show appreciation, but at the time she stopped. So when I reminded her, she started coming up again. And before I used to write when I was in secondary school, I will write
Wow.
stories. I will write stories. So because nobody was encouraging me or telling me that this is something that you can build within
Mm,
yourself, I
mm,
actually stopped and forgot all about it. But it was inside the inner circle that I picked myself up again. I was able to do some writing. And even my
wow.
daughter, even my first daughter told me that she even wants to write a book. I said, what do you want to write about? She said about her teenage life. She knows all that has been going on, the up and down, that she wants to chronicle it. I said there's no problem. You can just do that. And also number two book, Connect to Correct. This one helped me with my second daughter, Before before the inner circle, we will normally have on Saturdays, my husband will use it to talk to the children, ask them how they are and all that. We didn't know that we are actually doing something. So when I now came into the inner circle, our family meeting, we have been doing it too, but it was not really structured. So now we have been able to structure it better and use it as a medium to connect. When I read that book, my before my second daughter will not tell me anything concerning her. You ask her how the school go and all that. Anybody trouble you? Do you have any issues? She'll be like nothing, no, nothing. You just went out, you didn't experience anything, say nothing. You understand? So it was kind of troublesome. So because of this book, I was able to connect to her. And now she will even talk, oh, she will talk. And her siblings will be like, you talk too much. Oh. What is all this, She is no longer hiding anything. She
mm,
will bear everything to me and she will just this one happen. Mommy, I'll give you the detail. Oh. This person did not give you the full gist. Me, I'm giving you the full gist. She was not like that before. Even now, even when I'm about to go to bed, she will leave her. She was about to go to bed. Though. She will come back. Hey, there's something I forgot. I want to say it. So, and all that. So, it really helped me to connect with all my children and also recognize who my son really is, my first son, and also be able to bring him up. And you have a number three book, Resolving Sibling Rivalry, because I'm coming from a very chaotic, dysfunctional family. So a lot of bad blows there, and the thing it was now like a fear for me. I didn't want what I saw to repeat itself in this my children or with my husband and all that. So I I now started to strategically nip those things at the board that would have brought rivalry. You know,
mm,
there is no way two people will live together and they will not have issues. So
mm,
those issues that you have, it is what you do with them that matters and how you attack the situation. So I now got tools on how to help my children to learn negotiation, to live with each other in peace and harmony, so that when they grow up, they are not going to be like enemies.
mm,
Growing up, that is what I've now seen in my life, for one reason or the other. Maybe my sibling will be like, you are such an evil person. I'll be like, wow, you know, and I wouldn't even know where it's coming from. And
mm,
if I didn't know myself, I would have been doubting, is it that I did something evil? But coming to know what is really happening there, and I found out that there is a lot of entitlement spirit in the
mm,
house and all that. So I didn't want that to repeat itself in my children, seeking attention of parents and all that. I just let them know that all of you are my children and I love all of you equally. I'm not going to please this one above the other. I'm not going to be backbiting one with you. Maybe one of them will just come to me and this person did this to me. The only thing I ask is that What do you want to do to help this your sister or your brother to do better next time? What do you want to do? What can you do? You know, instead of becoming a judge and jumping inside their matter, because matter full, you know, 4 children. There is no how I will not. In fact, the kind of person I am, I used to, when I come back, I'll just enter inside my room, close the door, I'll go to sleep, I'll watch television. I don't want wahala and all those things. So now, even my anytime I come back, I'm accessible, okay? But I am not misusing my position as a parent. I'm being able to stand in the office of a parent and also be in the position of a parent to them as well. And also yelling to come, coach, I want to say 4 books, so let me just manage like that. Yelling to come. No, I've been able to mellow down. Not really that kind of loud person, but I know that there some because of upbringing, there are some things that will just come out from my mouth like that. Maybe when I'm triggered, I'll just say it like that. So from this book, I've been able to bring my tone down and also model the way I speak, the way I
Mm.
communicate with my children and even with my husband. Sometimes I'll have things that will be burning in my chest. I just want to shout it. I want to tear. But because of that book, I'm able to control my emotions better. And also, when we did that emotional intelligence course, so it
Mm.
really helped me. My children now are better. My my relationship with my husband is better. Before I will scheme, maybe you do something I don't like, I will be on top of my voice out. But now I'm able to control myself. He said that we should bring our strong points. We are not supposed to be doing emotionalism. Sometimes I will even be shouting, and on top of the shouting, I'll start crying. So, and all those things have ceased to be as it is now. So, thank you very much. Let me stop there.
Amazing, 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 amazing. Listening to Messi talk about the books and talk about the books are the books in the inner circle are such a blessing. They will bless you. They will change you. I love how Madam Messi have read the book. She has not just read the book; she has lived the books. The other day I said that books are not to be read; they are to be lived. I'm going to stop it there. And I'm messy. People are listening to you and wondering, and she said matterful. It was when she said matterful, it got me laughing. I said, I have only 2 children, a set of twins that are 14 going to 15. When matter arises. Now I'm wondering what happens with 5 children with matter. Almost according to my children, they will say the matter, when you stop playing judge, your life will be very fine. As in the other day they said, Mommy, you people will not even say anything. There's no need telling you. I said, you guys will be all right. I'm not going to die, please. I just want to be alive. Thank you so much for sharing with us. Thank you so much for being here. If you're wondering about the inner circle, when I message, please talk to us. The inner circle. Some people are listening to you and wondering, do I really need this? They are coming from that place they were coming from, where you just think, in fact, when I even enter, I will show them what I know. Me too. I am smart. What you talking about? What is that thing that they can even teach me self? I know some people are, watching me and saying, what is this? All these things, they are just boboing us. What can they really teach me that is going to change anything? I beg, they don't. I still know what I'm doing. Talk to those set of people. Over to you.
Thank you. I, I was on that table before. And like
Hmm.
we say in the year, fall down from that table because I beg you, if you think you know anything, you don't know anything at all. Oh. You don't know anything at all. You know, I am very open minded to learn. That's why I didn't even need somebody to beg me. Even at that, I still thought that I knew. I'm going to show them that I'm a first class um woman. You understand? So when it comes to reading and giving birth, when I came in to the inner circle, it's not about first class. Nobody is dragging for first. Nobody is dragging for I know pass. No, there's
With you.
nothing like that. There, there's nothing like that here. You know, coach will always say that inner circle is an equalizer. I I get to know that even as I am here in the inner circle, there are a lot of things I didn't even know anything. In fact, I was like a foolish virgin, if I may even say self. So I'll be doing Odogu wife things
Hmm.
in a
Who
humble
knows?
way, not in a loud way, in a humble way. I didn't even know that as I was being humble like that, that I was being foolish. Where other people are having problem, is it that one? Oh yeah, let me help you. Help you. You know, if it's money, I just be giving like that. I thought that is my ministry. I didn't know that I was not even helping myself. You understand? So when you come inside inner circle, you will find yourself. And I could say that we should not be regretting the past, because I know I've missed a lot of opportunities that I should have taken, and maybe I would be flying by now. So I'm recreating. So when you come in, you are going to be so humbled that you are going to find yourself and throw away all those things that you feel that you have around you, all those things that you are building yourself. You throw them away and you will become a better person. And anywhere you go to, you will be shining.
Hmm.
You will be shining. When I joined the inner circle, the first year, I did like 70% of everything that was required. I had a lot of challenges within me. But this second year, I've been able to improve myself to become better. I redid level one with my full chest, and I'm still going to redo level one with my full chest, because the first year when I came in, I found out that it was for me. Then this one now that I'm doing, I'm now incorporating my family, my marriage inside it. I'm not going to be arrogant anymore with knowledge and be saying, don't you know that we are learning so, 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 and so, I'll start fighting. You don't know anything.
Hmm.
Because me, I was in that place before. So when you come inside here, you are going to gain knowledge. And when you gain that knowledge, you will not be proud. You will
Hmm.
not be someone that is going to de-genius your child.
Hmm.
Even this, my 6-month-old baby, he is able to read emotions, sense emotions as young as
Hmm.
he is, because of the way that I am with him now, because of knowledge. The way I am with him now. Before, when a child is crying, say, let him be crying. Now, can't I do what I'm supposed to do? But now I'm no longer that way. So you think that I will just tell you honestly speaking, you don't know. You don't know anything until you enter. And when you read books, you will see the transformations inside your life
Hmm.
first. You know, coach would always say that education is learning what you think you know that you didn't know. So I'm able to learn those things I thought I knew, but I now realize that I didn't know it. That's what you call somebody that is educated. It's not by going to university. As it stands now, I even went to bring myself to a certain place that when people see me, they'll be like, what are you doing here? I say, I'm learning.
Hmm.
You understand?
Hmm.
I'm learning. And like there was someone that came live here some time ago, last month. She said that she removed her wig, went to learn from a pastry maker by the roadside.
Yep.
That is just me like that. So I dropped my credentials and everything
And your
where they
dog
are
rest.
sitting on the phone. Yes, I have to leave even all the glamour and everything. So I'll just sit. I sit humbly. I'm learning. Do you understand? It's because of what I now know. And all
Hmm.
those things that I'm learning, because I'm inside the inner circle, I'm going to use it better
Yes.
than the person that I'm learning from, because of the
Yes.
inner circle, the knowledge that I'm getting there. So you see, when opportunities now come, I'm no longer afraid, I'm more confident.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I'll just I'll just stop there. And mostly those that are coming in for your children is about you first too. Is
Hmm.
about you first.
Hmm.
So you don't just come in so that you prepare your children. Now you show them the way. You have to show them
Mm,
the way by
mm,
your action, not by
mm,
you talking. So you
mm.
have to leave it first so that your
Chai,
children can live it. Thank
chai.
you.
I love this part. You don't just come in so that you pepper your children and show them the. You are not here to pepper nobody. It is you. And I love how Madam Mercy said inner circle is an equalizer. Keep your first class. Keep your professorship. Keep your doctorate. We don't need them. Come humbly, remove, stripped off all of those titles. That's not who you are. You are not those titles. When you get into the inner circle, you will find out that even when your dogu is quiz to collect every now and then. But I'm not to say I'm your dogu, but in a humble way. You know, the way she even said it, this guy in a humble way. They come to me, they say, I just, do that money. This guy Munyo Dogu things. I love it. I love it. In the inner circle, we translate from Munyo Dogu to Odogu Restis and Odogus. That's how we roll. Thank you so much for being here. This has been an insightful session. And if you think you know the things that you think you know, you actually do not know it. Be humble. Come and learn. I know I have seen the others who have transformed their lives, going to learn from tellers on the street, going to learn from pastry makers on the street. You can learn from anybody. Come down. All this, how old is coach? How many children is here? How old are the children? It's pride. It's an element of pride. Yes, you heard me right. It is an element of pride. And pride is evil, according to Matthew. Yeah, it's in the Bible. It's actually evil. Yeah, you heard me. So please come in, come in, come in, come in, and come and learn. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for joining us. We're going to end here because we are running for workers meeting. Yeah, that shelter. Yeah. That's how I went for summit in Benin and I saw that's making noise like me. I say, what is this? This is just you, coach. And it's even interesting that my noise making is behind the camera. And I'm like, hey, what is happening here? I just love it. Shout out to all of you guys. Yadas, shout out to you. Thank you again, Madam Mercy, for being here. It is such an honor. And in one word, what will be that last word that you will share? And we close the session now.
Okay, I'll just drop one word because our time is past. I'll just say if you refuse to change, you will be changed and you won't even know that you will change. So when you are doing things and you don't know that you are headed the wrong way, it is very disastrous because when you hit, or they will say when you hit jam like that, accident happens. That's when you start running helter skelter. So, and I've come to find out that discipline is a brake system that will save you from crashing. So when you enter the inner circle, you will save yourself from crashing because you are going to be disciplined a lot. I have been disciplined and I'm still disciplining myself first before my children. So that's all I can say for now. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing your journey with us. Thank you so much, ma'am. I love you. I honor you. Thank you for being here. I do not take
Thank
your
you.
time for granted. I am
Thank
so
you.
blessed by you sharing your journey this morning. And we're going to let you
Thank you.
go because this is where we call it a
Okay.
day. And yes, it is my intentional parenting journey 2024. And yes, you are going to actually just love what is in the yard. The yard is about, you can't wake up in the yard and just be, dull. And one day, a parent who is in the yard, the husband who has been listening from the side, who is not in the yard though, and have not been, she's not in the inner circle, but he listens from the side. And so one day she said she woke up, she was tired, and she was not talking to her customers. That the husband said, "Is that how your coach talks to after people? Is that, have you not been listening to your coach?" She said, which coach? I don't understand. What are you talking about, sir? It is not. He said, I used to listen to every morning. That woman will just excite you. You wake up in the morning, you don't get vibrant, you even forget that you have problems. So yes, that's what the inner circle is about. No, we don't go gloomy. Yes, we own the world. Yes, and yes, we have extras. Everything that you can talk about. We just love it in here. This is the best community that you can be in. I am excited to have you in the inner circle program. And I'm looking forward to have you in. We are 24 days to go. 24 days to the inner circle 2025. And you know, I've already seen so much that's going to happen in the yard. If you're coming in the yard, relax. Come all the way down. Come all the way down, because we're going to be bringing to you the kind of knowledge that is cooked somewhere above, not here. It is not us. And hey, do not even think that it is about your coach. No, it's not just about me. It's about God trying to help you in this generation. There is a dispensation, and God is here to help you. In the comment section, share all of the flowers for Madam Mercy. And while you are at it, please share flowers for Madam Nena as well. I can just imagine how it is that their relationship is. I love to love good things. I don't know how people envy good things. I don't even understand it. You see something that is going well and is, really feeling so good, and you are not loving it. Hello, Madam Mabel Okafor. I see you. Thank you so much for being here. Madam Mabel drove me all the way in the UK, spent the day. Oh, so amazing. Shout out to you. You guys are just awesome. Yeah, I really do appreciate you. And yes, this is where we come to the end. And if you're watching me and you're thinking, see, on the 31st of this November, you will stop hearing these all. And I've learned a lot. People send me chat every day. I've learned a lot from my intentional parenting journey. I've learned so much. I don't even know. The learning, everything stops on the 31st of November. We go back into our cocoon. And the truth is, there's really nothing, you can't process it. You can only process it in a community. Remember what Madam Mercy said. She said, you cannot be a blessing on your own. You can't be on your own and be calling yourself a blessing. How? You must be able to move from being a blessing from being blessed to being a blessing. So even if you think you know everything, come and be a blessing to someone. Come and learn more so that you can shine your light so bright, so that the darkness will not be able to comprehend it. I am particularly excited, and this is where we're going to close. I look forward to being your coach. My name is Wendy Ologe. I am effortlessly your number one parent coach. Effortlessly. Nobody matches it. Bring it on, and I'll show you that I am that best coach that you will ever have to have. The only coach you need, and you don't need another one. Trust me when I say so. See you right in the yard, and yarders, stay you in 2 minutes. I cannot wait. Bye, and have an amazing day.